Hello, welcome back. This is Jacob and today we are gonna be starting the narration and character voice acting for the Fantasy in the Mirage story. Alright everybody, it has only been a few short months, not even a full year, and we already have a new Sui story. And this Sui story will be followed up by another Sui story, which is gonna be Integrated Strategies 6. But yeah, Fantasy in the Mirage is our lead-in story for IS6, which should soon be out. And as a little side tangent here before we begin with anything else, when IS6 is gonna be out, I will be back to streaming some Arknights content on the channel, not just other games, but back to Arknights stuff. But yeah, as always, there will be a lot of lore, there will be a lot of yapping, and there will be a lot of lore discussions, and well, I already said reading, but you get the gist of it. If you if you're new to the channel or listening to this video and you enjoy some lore, do stick around. There's gonna be a lot more of it very soon. But yeah, I'm personally looking forward to the new IS mode. I know right now nothing about it. I do not want to know nothing about it. And when it comes to this story as well, as always, a quick reminder, do not spoil anything, do not wink nudge at me about cannot wait for you to see this and that. Keep the comment section clean and nice to whatever is in the current episode, and it's gonna be all Gucci. But yeah, anyway, I'm excited for the story to bring it to you guys and to see how it's gonna end. In today's part, we're gonna be covering the first 3 nodes, but before we do anything about that, a quick question here at the beginning, which is the usual question that I always ask before we head into a story, and I kinda already answered it, but regardless, do you need to know anything before heading into this story? Especially if you're a new Arknights player and are listening to this. And the long and short of it is, well, I kinda already answered it. This is kinda the continuation of the Sui storyline so far, just a kinda a little branch off in its own little territory, but still very well connected, because there will be a lot of Sui stuff in here, and I do not wanna spoil here at the very beginning before we even start what is gonna be mentioned or shown about the Sui lore so far. But yeah, there is a lot, and for everybody's convenience sake, if you want to catch up with all the Sui stories, in the description of this very video will be pretty much all of the playlists up until now, from the very first one, which is Ancient Forge, which, by the way, if you want to skip that one, you can skip it, but it's a fun one. It's a fun and goofy one when it comes to it, and it's kind of like the prototype for the lore, in a way, in a very weird Director Neon way, but anyway. All of the playlists are going to be in the description of the video, numerically ordered, so just go from wherever you left off, whatever the last one was that you read, or if you're gonna go from the very beginning, well, you have quite a lot of material to go through. It is very interesting material as well, and as a little reminder, because I don't know how many people are aware of this, but the Sui stories, especially beginning with the second story in the timeline, which is Who is Real, the story that introduced Dusk as a Sui sibling, all of these Sui stories are technically taking around and beyond potentially the beginning of Act 3 of the main story. Which again, as a reminder, is the very reason why these Sui stories have never really called back to anything main story related or any kind of other story related, because they just couldn't. Nothing was really written that they could call back to at that point. So, you know, they were kinda... People always said that the Sui stories were kinda isolated, and very recently we got the answer as to why, because they were just taking place around the same timeline as a act of the main story that has not even been written yet properly. But now we do have some Act 3 shenanigans already going, so who knows, maybe in the future the Sui story will be referencing main story stuff, but that will be for the future, and we shall see that together. But for now, Fantasy in the Mirage, very interesting beginning, and you guys will see it very soon, so let's head straight in. So, in our first part, we're gonna be covering the very first 3 nodes: Hu Jun, Mr. Pooh, and the story of the stone. So, without further ado, let's begin with our first story, which is Hu Jun. Let's see. Our tale begins in a modest tea house. Its building hardly tall enough for the 2 floors it's split into. The interior is simply furnished. a space neither cramped nor bare. 10 wooden tables, meticulously laid out, seat 6 each. The tea stains have been scrubbed as much as they'll permit. It all speaks to a diligent owner. The tea house's server casts ladles of water across the floor as he mops each and every tile to a mirror sheen. It seems a while since the tea house last welcomed a guest. One wonders what sort of customer could warrant such a conscientious welcome. And with perfect timing, they come in. One, two, a party of 2? Welcome, this way. Would you like a pot of tea to start? We're fine. First things first, is this Mangshan town? It is Mangshan town. Are you the shopkeep of this place? Or the server? I am the server. Keep not in. The keep is not in. It's like I'm hearing myself echo. At least you give answers. One more question then. Did a stranger from outside come by today? They did. When? What did they look like? Right now, 2 people, both bandit-like. Fang Badan, don't you screw around with us! The bore of a man's temper flares, and he throws a hefty palm across the server's face that sends him crashing to the floor. But the server does not anger in kind. He calmly picks himself up and stands up again, like none of that just happened. What strange guests you are. No tea, no wine? It's beyond me to serve you then. Kid, be nice. He just works here. Check the kitchen in the back, and close every door shut while you're in there. Take it easy. Of course we want tea. But we're waiting for someone first. We need to have our tea with her. And in short order, the proclaimed +1 arrives. Oh? Scarcely has the girl stepped inside to look around when the tip of a crossbow bolt nestles against her back and the point of a machete to her throat. Look at that. It's the Liu brothers. Who knew I'd bump into you here? I think you wouldn't have come if you did know. Still, good to see you. Now stick around. Server boy, shut the door, if you don't mind, and hang up the closed sign. Then, we'll take a pot of tea. Here's your tea. Take your time. The 3 blades of wind and cloud treating me to tea. All the heartlands know you. I feel like a VIP now. Shame it's just the 2 of us now. A few days ago, you framed our trio with that secret tome. That sicked 3 whole gangs at the human garrison on our asses. 100 men, maybe more, all hunting us down. I made it. He made it. Our youngest brother died outside Baizhou. So, what could we do but invite you for a cup of tea? Absolutely. We should say cheers to you Jianghu heroes for making it. Here, may I toast you 2 with my tea in place of wine? And then, after meeting on such good terms, we can part on them too. You need to shut up! Let's cut the chit-chat. You still have the secret tome. So you got wind of the deal? Is that why you were waiting for me here? That's right. And what happened to my guy, Mr. Pooh? Don't tell me you killed him?
Guess.
And there's nothing I can say to convince you that you don't want this tome?
You already screwed us over once. If we don't get this tome today, then the wrong you stuck on us and the death of our third brother will both go unanswered.
Alright, now I'm curious. Do you fine heroes really know how this tome here came to be?
Of course. Rumor has it the Grandmaster of Human, who perfected the martial arts, wrote all his learnings in a tome before wading out of the Jianghu. And not long ago, the tome finally fell into the commoner's hands, though almost no one can actually say they've seen it. The brothers did some asking around too. All signs pointed to you having the tome.
So presumably, you too want the tome so you can master the ultimate kung fu? Claim first under heaven? What I'm asking is, what will this do for you in the long run? Will you rule the Jianghu with an iron fist? Will this avenge your dead brother? Or are you going to duel to the death once you realize there can only be one first under heaven?
You're pushing your luck. Bring it out,
he says, making a subtle show of his machete again. To which the girl can only shake her head and sigh. She pulls out a small parcel from her travel bag. Its rectangular dimensions are those of a book, no doubt. Fine, fine. It's not like I need the tome anyway. I was just gonna sell it to, well, anyone. So, fine gentlemen, what's your bid? Because as a note, the last buyer I had lined up set the bar high. She says, gesturing a 7 in the air.
I have a better offer. Your life.
Sir, there's no reasoning with you if you do business like this.
As I see it, it's already a very fair offer. If my info's right, the Grandmaster Stone was meant for the general leading the human guards. I don't know how you got your hands on it, but it can't have been legal. We're bandits, fine lady, and you're a crook. We do us and you do you. Justice and injustice are both above our pay grade.
Oof, you're no fun. Alright, I really screwed the hound on this one this time. You've got the stuff. Can I go now?
Not yet. I may not be a delicate man, but I know a trouble magnet when I see it. If I let you blab about this to the entire Jianghu, I fear we won't live to train as the tome instructs.
Well, if you can cram it a little and get a little smarter too, who knows?
Save some jibber-jabber for your next life. And if there is a next life, remember this. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. What the?
The man can hardly process the sight of his machete dropping to the ground. His unwavering grip has never betrayed him throughout his grueling years in the Jianghu. Yet now he can't even hold his own blade.
Shit, bro, I think someone here poisoned us.
I poisoned you. Producing a hemp rope from out of nowhere, the server silently busies himself. In a flash, the 3 incapacitated guests are bound up like zhengzi on the plate and deposited neatly in the corner.
Figures I'd mistake you for just a tea house server, sir. My eyes must be going bad. Poisoning us so finely. You must be a Jianghu old-timer too. Tell us your name. If we are dying at least, we should go out knowing.
You weren't mistaken. I'm just a tea house server, no Jianghu old-timer. My friends call me Hu Jun.
I imagine you know Mr. Pooh too, then?
He's one of those very friends.
One more thing, if you don't mind. This tome. Why do you want it?
To leave this town. It holds 520 families, and going around visiting each one takes 200 and 900 steps. 4 years upon years, neither number has changed at all. I want to get away from here. But if I want to leave, there needs to be some change. And if I want to some change, I need this secret tome.
I don't understand what you're getting at, sir.
No matter. It's not as if all the realm was made for human minds to comprehend.
Yeah, fair. We fall into you, admit it. Kill us or whatever, just do what you like.
Whether or not you admit you fall into me doesn't change anything. Sir, you've gotten what you came for. Why bother taking anyone's life?
Who the hell are you? When did you see yourself?
If you'd have my name, it's Yun Qingping. I was just passing through on my travels. I've been sitting here since noon, actually. You were just so fixated on the secret tome, I naturally didn't enter your sight.
Catching sight of the elusive boy, Hu Jun grips his dagger tight, but following a moment of thought, he lets go again.
I have no reason to fear you. I treated all the water in this tea house. You should be poisoned too. You wouldn't need to fear me anyway, sir. I'm just a scholar who couldn't even trust a featherfowl. There's nothing I could do to you in a fight.
But you insist on saving these people?
Yes, I ask for you to look down on them with kindness, and not to kill again.
These people are not good people. If he'd gotten the tome just now, he would have silenced everyone else all the same. He even said so himself just now.
They may be utter scoundrels, but surely your heart is still a good one, sir. So why sully your own innocence for them? Just hand them to the authorities, and justice will take care of them as a matter of course. As for the secret tome, I'll swear to keep my mouth shut. How about it, sir?
The way you talk reminds me of my friend. He's a good person. You must be too. But for now, I cannot trust you. I won't kill you, but I will ask you to step forth so I can tie you up.
You didn't want trouble, and yet troubles come knocking.
No noise, or else all 4 of you are dead.
Excuse me, is this tea house closed for the day? Dear Auntie Qingyan, I hope this letter finds you well. I heard about your resignation. I don't know the specifics, but I admire you deeply for your courageous act. No wonder Mother always exhorts me to follow your example. To make a long story short, I have something urgent I want to entrust to you in this letter. An old friend of mine called Yun Qingping came with me to Baijiao. We've been due to return and report back to the Sui regulator, but 3 days ago he went missing. My friend is a very careful person. Going AWOL like this is unusual to say the least. I fear for the worst. Based on the clues I found, he was last headed out of the city via the north edge, in the direction of Mount Mang, same as your return trip to the Tianxi Bureau. I was going to search for him myself, but the Sui regulator has been inundated lately, not to mention whispers of another incident in Father's army. I'm all but stuck here. You're the only one who can help me find my friend's whereabouts now, Auntie. I've enclosed a photo of him with this letter. If you find him, I beg you to contact me ASAP. Yours in due deference, Zola. Blessings. May your health be sound, and your vacation merry. P.S. Please show up at our next reunion dinner, Auntie. I'm sure Father and Mother are eager for the story surrounding your resignation.
That morning,
the nerve of this boy. Now he's sending me on missions. Courageous act. What nonsense. No respect for elders.
before she knows it, Lin Qingyan has set foot into this strange town. It's a rustic one, though buildings littered about. Few wander the streets. The scene here is a still and peaceful one.
Did Mount Mang always have a town like this at its foot? This is odd. I lost signal as soon as I entered. I didn't think the Tianchi Bureau had missed any nearby towns with its signal towers.
Young lady, young lady!
Hmm?
Young lady, I've never seen you before. Are you from outside? How rare, very rare.
Correct. Are outside visitors infrequent here?
They used to be. Lately there's been more.
I'm not surprised. The entrance to this town is very remote and not marked on any maps to boot. Sorry, do you happen to know the way to the nearest Tianchi Bureau?
Tianchi Bureau, Tianchi Bureau. Can't say I've heard, can't say I've heard.
Can you point me to the road out of town then? I didn't take full note when entering, and I lost the way I came by the time I thought to look back.
Out of town, out of town. I don't know, I've never been out.
You don't know?
Slow down, slow down. Have a pancake. Take your time. Look around. Everything is done when it's done. No rushing it.
I'm assuming you live here. How long have you lived here for?
Yes, I do. I've been here ever since a pastry lit the first fire in my belly.
Lit a fire in your belly? Thank you. I'll keep looking.
Young lady, pancakes, fresh from the oven. Have one.
No thanks, I'm not hungry. Did you just dig that out from your pocket? That pancake is oven fresh?
It's done now. Well done now.
Ow! This is scalding. You were holding this into your chest?
No rushing it, no rushing it. Go back to looking, young lady, until you're heated through just right.
Excuse me, wait! 8,991, 8,992, 8,000... Careful, are you hurt?
Gaze fixed on the ground, a young woman walks headfirst into Lin Qingyan and promptly tumbles straight to the ground, where something falls out of her clothes. Lin Qingyan immediately checks her over, then turns to look back, only to find the old man with the pancakes is nowhere to be seen.
My umbrella. Mr. told me not to let go of my umbrella. Here, and this letter, it fell out of your sleeve.
The girl hurriedly takes the umbrella, then with difficulty stuffs her letter back in her sleeve. Lin Qingyan looks to the clear blue sky.
Try and stand up, young miss. Let me help you. This girl's so light. How far did I count just now? 8,993? 8,994? 8,995? Young miss, are you alright? Do you need me to take you home? Home? I can't go home. I promised to meet him at the tofu stall. Oh no. He told me it was a secret to protect him with my life, not to tell anyone even if they beat me to death. Did you hear that? Did you hear about my secret meeting with him at the tofu stall?
That's your personal business. Let's say I didn't hear. Oh, thank goodness. I'd rather not get beaten to death. Where did it count up to? 8,996? What are you counting? He told me to count to 9,000 when I go to meet him, and once I do... Oh no, I said it again! I'm going to get beaten to death! If I'm not missing something, I think beat you to death is just a brand of Yanese hyperbole. Unless you're telling me, miss, you believe your life is in danger. 8,997, 8,998, 8,999, 9,000. It's time. I'm off to see him. There's something strikingly odd about the people in this town. What's this? Is this... It's the letter that fell out of her sleeve. Classified scoop, not for prying eyes? Wait, miss! Hushun, I'm here to see you.
Shh, quiet. This way.
Hushun, why did I have to count to 9,000 before seeing you? My lips are chapped from counting out loud now.
I had no other choice. That's the only way you know how to keep track of time. Did anyone see you come here?
A bunch of people, but none of them know I was coming to see you.
You got the stuff?
Yep, in Mister's cabinet, second drawer. It said classified scoop, not for prying eyes on it.
Perfect. Give it to me.
All right. Oh no, I can't find the letter. I must have lost it on the way. But that's all right. I read what was inside. It said 3/4 past the hour of way, deal at the old tea house.
You sneaked a look at the contents, but you lost the letter itself.
What's wrong, Hushun? You're crinkling your forehead up so hard. It makes you look terrifying. I don't like it.
You're sure that's what it said? The time? 3/4 past the hour away?
Yeah, I can't actually tell the time, but my memory's really good. Hushun, what's wrong? Say something. Do I have to count to 9,000 again before you stop ignoring me? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
No, stop that.
Hushun, I really don't like you being this way. Your face looks so scary.
Xiao Shu, I trust you dearly. If everything goes smoothly, I was planning to get out of here with you. We could leave together. But you're not ready yet. You haven't learned to keep secrets. That's why I can't. What are you doing?
You can't hide it from me. Your eyes are wet, Hushun. You're hurting a lot, aren't you? Mister says when things get wet, I shouldn't jump straight to wiping them, but I can help by blowing on them. Are your eyes a little drier now? You held my hand too tight just now. Now there's wrinkles in it.
Goodbye, Xiao Shu.
This is the direction she went, I know it. How did she lose me so fast? She said she was meeting up at the tofu stall. That should be right, there.
Far across the alley, Lin Qingyun spots the umbrella the girl was sporting. She hurries over, intending to return the lost letter, but as she draws near it, it becomes obvious. The umbrella lies forlorn on the ground. The girl unaccounted for. Welcome. This way. Sit wherever you like.
I asked because I saw the sign hung up outside. Are you closed or not?
If a guest comes for tea, then we can hardly keep closed. Would you like a pot of tea to start?
That's sure.
The scent of the green tea is positively pungent. Ling Qingyan reaches a hand, but stops.
You're the server of this tea house. Do you have time for a few questions?
Please ask away. I'll do all I can to answer.
I see this tea house is situated in the most bustling part of town. Why close for the evening in the middle of the afternoon?
We play it by ear, you see. Sometimes nobody wants a drink of tea.
But what if a customer was coming here for something other than tea?
Sometimes our guests need a shelter from the rain and a spell to rest. They're welcome inside to sit for a while, yes. Drink tea or don't, but if you don't take tea and you don't plan on leaving quietly, then the problems begin.
That's fair enough. You make me wonder, did you get any troublesome customers like that today, before closing up shop?
My guests today all drank tea.
Last question. It just caught my eye, honestly, but there is what looks like a spot of paint stuck to your lapel. You're a tea house waiter, not a studio painter. Where would you get paint like that on your clothes from? And one more thing. I happened to see this color of paint today on an umbrella. You look awfully anxious. What's the matter? I mean, look at the time. Didn't you close it ages ago? Your deal, I mean, 3/4 past the hour of way.
Brain working in overtime, Wu Jun promptly flips the table up, cutting off Lin Qingyan's line of sight to him. It's just long enough for him to scramble like mad to the upper floor.
Halt!
Help!
You have the secret tome, so he tricked me. Give it to me. You asked for it then.
Thank you, Deputy Minister Lin. I never imagined I'd run into you here.
How do you know me? Oh wait, hold on, you're Yun Qingping?
I've heard much about you from Zuo. It's an honor to finally meet.
But according to Zuo, you're missing?
Missing? Did Zuo not see the letter I left him? I really feel like I should have foreseen that.
Set it aside for now. What's going on here?
The three beside me got into a fight, I think, over some kind of treasure, and then,
3? What do you mean 3?
Ling Qingyan glances over again. There's 2 bandits bound up like fowl, but all that lies next to them is a pile of severed hemp rope. Well, that's strange.
Curses!
Ling Qingyan hurries out into the street, where a good few townsfolk are milling around to see what the commotion is. She hears the single sharp strike. She sees someone crash through the upper floor window and fall to the road hard, right in front of the tea house's entranceway. She fully expects to see someone injured, possibly even a corpse, but all that greets her eyes is a pile of shattered teapot shards.
What a start! What are the chances to start 2 stories very, very recently, or in a row even, with sort of murder mystery? But yeah, I hope everybody with the beginning of the story is reminded back to the Who is Real story, where we're pretty much in a fictional town instead of a painting, and this one seems to call back to that very, very fondly, as we're in another town where stuff is real. The location seems to be separated from just communication networks as well. It's a situation that we are in, and then we have people with weird, colory, wispy fire around them. It's a location, all right. It's a location, and Leizi has... Both Leizi and Record Keeper have found themselves in this very interesting predicament. But we're gonna be learning a bit more very, very soon about what our location and situation currently are, because it's gonna be very familiar, especially what is happening. Also, that old guy with the pancake is not gonna leave my mind. Somewhere out there in a separate reality, a Akechi's screaming his head off about pancakes. Anyway, we continue on with our second story, titled Mr. Pooh.
To quote, once written word and painted scene fall to the masses to critique, all time itself might as well end. Once wear and lacquer bear appraisal by the street vendors, the injustice should damn us all. But who? My potted brother who? I'm no such common folk, if I might say, and when in all the days we drank together, did I fall victim to the wine? Tell me, how did I ever do you wrong? Without you now, my drinking friend, where do I find someone to share a toast again?
Mister, bad news! Hujun's dead!
What? When did this happen? How could this...
It was in the tea house he always stays in. He was sent flying from the second floor and fell to his death. It must have been that wicked woman who did it. She'll probably come for us too.
What do I always teach in this school? Don't speak lightly of what you never saw. You didn't see it with your own eyes. How can you jump to conclusions?
But mister, you also told us to deduce everything we can. That wicked woman's been killing so many people. How could Hu Jun's killer be anyone except her?
Deduce everything you can is for logic, not for happenings, and especially not for people. You wouldn't want others to turn their malice on you. You should imagine others wouldn't want your malice turned on them either. That is reasonable. But if a person errs, and you say thus they can do nothing but err, that is not reasonable. But never mind that now. We'd be talking a lot longer to cover all the ethics there. We have more pressing matters to hand. Hu Jun fell from the tea house and perished. Did anyone collect his remains?
I definitely saw that part with my own eyes. After Hu Jun fell, a woman dressed like a Tianchi picked up his pieces and took them away.
What is a Tianchi doing here? This is no laughing matter. You're sure that's what you saw?
Absolutely, definitely. Tianchi was right there when Hu Jun fell. And then, after that, I even saw the Tianchi going around asking people things while carrying his corpse.
What a rotten turn. I fear we're in a bind now that he was seen. But as long as Hu Jun's remains are with that Tianchi, then above anything else, we need to find some way to get him back.
You mean you want us to steal Hu Jun's corpse from that Tianchi?
How many times have I told you? You must refer to the remains of our deceased as remains, not as corpses. Also say purloin, not steal. I've taught you this too. If it's for your own selfish sake, it's stealing. But if it's No, never mind. We're short on time. That Tianchi will be here any moment. Do as I taught you, each of you. Go, take your places.
Pardon me, you must be Mr. Pooh.
Ling Qingyun is silent as she enters the tiny schoolhouse, and stays silent as she proceeds to carefully scrutinize each and every object. After enough time passes for an instant's wick to burn out, the elderly teacher sat watching her finally can't help but ask.
Excuse me.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am Ling Qingyun, a Tianchi from the Tianchi Bureaus.
I guessed as much from your dress.
Do you often chat with Tianchis, Mr. Pooh?
There's a Tianchi Bureau neighboring this town. The townsfolk's lives wouldn't be much without the care of your Tianchis, hence why I recognize. And, Tianchi Lin, what exactly brings you here today?
This may sound funny, but something odd has happened on my very first day here in Mangshan town. There's a tea house in the south with a server named Hu Jun. At 3/4 past the hour of Wei this afternoon, he poisoned 4 customers and held them hostage. I just so happened to witness it, and right as I was going to apprehend him, I saw him plummet from the 2nd floor with my own eyes. I ran over to see where he'd landed, and all I found was a shattered teapot. I thought I must have been seeing things, but the fact of the matter is multiple other people saw what I saw.
So you mean, someone fell from upstairs, died, and turned into a broken teapot? Now that's, one for the history annals. Tianchi Lin, would you let me have a look at this teapot?
Ling Qingyun reaches into her bag, brings out a wrapped bundle, and sets it on the table. Mr. Pooh is moving to take it when Ling Qingyun suddenly places a hand on it.
One moment, please, sir. I'd like you to answer a few questions first.
Of course, Tianchi, ask away.
While making my inquiries about the deceased, a lot of townsfolk said they knew of a Hu Jun, and that you and this Hu Jun were apparently well acquainted. What plagues me as odd is, I reside in Baijiao most of the time, just a stone's throw away from the foot of Mount Mang, yet I've never heard anyone mention Mangshan town. And there's not a single official tending to the town. Everyone resolves their disputes here instead, at your school. It sounds to me like you hold quite a sway here.
Nonsense. Tianchi Lin, I can answer all your questions now. This town used to be lively in the old days, but time marched on and Baijiao kept on building itself bigger and bigger until all our youth ran off to the city to find work and left our town population to dwindle. We still hang on to the town title, but fact is, we're only 500 or so households. Factor in the nearby Tianchi Bureau, and we never do get disturbances. Hence why the Imperial Court left us be. As for myself, I read a book or two in younger times, that's all. I was a penniless scholar without enough knowledge to pass any entrance exam, so all I could do was stay here, teach the children to read, and scrape by. So it's been for years. The folks call me Mr. like I'm a wise man. They come to me when they run into trouble or want a penny for my thoughts. Makes me feel like a house of cards.
I think you're too humble, sir. Bringing up the youth is a virtuous thing. You have every right to be proud of yourself. But something I've noticed, sir. Your collection in here, the books, calligraphy, paintings, antiques, curios, stationery, none of these things are just your average wear.
Well, no, you're mistaken, Tianchi Lin. These are presents from the Tianchi acquaintances, odds and ends from all over, mixed up in one place. Just a little odd, nothing valuable per se.
I see.
And The Hu Jun you mentioned, Watch out!
For some mysterious reason, the candlestick suddenly falls over on the table, almost splashing its scalding wax on Lin Qingyang's hand. She bolts up straight, only for her chair to flip about too, narrowly avoiding tripping her. Seizing this single moment, Mr. Pooh swaps the bundle with uncanny swiftness.
What am I seeing?
Tianchi, are you alright? Everything in here is far too old. Most of it's wonky in some way or another. Forgive me.
No matter. Now where were we?
Oh, the Hu Jun boy, yes. I can tell you he is a friend of mine. He is the waiter at the old tea house. Decent at brewing tea. You could call him a drinking companion of mine, be it tea or wine.
Do you know if he had any enemies?
No, I have no clue. The Hu Jun I know is a down-to-earth person. But if one person talks to another and the dish bumps the bowl and, well, maybe he said something that riled someone up without realizing, or owed someone money for a few days too long. Who can go through life without making a few enemies, No, I can't help you there at all.
Is that all you're willing to tell me, sir?
Well, it's not a question of willing. You see, this is all I know.
Save it. You're an example for us all. I don't want to coerce you into doing anything that'll ruin that. Think twice before you speak, that's all I ask. When you're willing to converse with me, sir, we'll meet again. Pardon me for tonight. I'll excuse myself now.
Mister, is the Tianchi gone? Is she leaving us alone?
Yes.
So, did you get Hu Jun's remains? After a moment, Mr. Pooh barely withdraws the bundle from under the table and opens it with care. Inside is not a single shard of teapot, only a pile of pebbles.
This Tianchi Lin, she's a smart one and a sincere one. So be it. I'll have to make another quick run. You look after the place. I'll be back in a flash.
Mister, can we help with anything?
Very well. Come.
It's the dead of night, and Lin Qingyang walks around the empty streets. If anyone is out at this hour, they'll see something most curious. Behind the Tianchi at a distance of 10 steps, a hand broom leans on the wall, and for some unknown reason, wherever she goes, the broom stays behind her by that exact distance. But never mind why a domestic hand broom is languishing outside, there's a single embroidered shoe on the roof too, pitter-pattering as it follows the broom, and then a calligraphed character on the wall, following that shoe. And behind that a jumping shoulder pole, a rolling medicine bottle, a clattering rattle drum, and at the very back of this bewildering procession, who should it be but Mr. Pooh? They all stop outside the door to an inn. Mr. Pooh, the Tianchi's gone.
And she went into this inn?
I can confirm that, but we couldn't find her when we looked inside. Mister.
Did you see the Tianchi?
No. I saw that wicked woman. She came after us.
What?
Found you.
My back. Oh. It's you. I never wanted to believe it, but who else could it have been other than you?
That's enough. The only thing I want to know is, why did you trick me?
Trick you? When did I ever trick you?
You always said the secret tome was a fake. You kept telling us to ignore it. So why did the teapot get involved in the deal at the tea house? And why would he get this tome?
You've got it wrong. You've got it all wrong.
I don't care who got what wrong. There's one thing from you, and that's it. Tell me what the deal is with the personification technique in this tome.
Are you serious? Is that how badly you want to leave this town?
Surely you know I have an old friend to meet? All these years, I've been begging you to tell me how to leave this town, but you kept on urging me, just be patient. Well, the tome's right here, right now. Any more excuses, mister? You've taught so many so much. Would it hurt to just teach me one more thing?
Do the people you've laid low in the fight for this tome mean anything to you? You want to become a human, but you forewent learning human kindness and love. You jump straight to human resentment and ruthlessness. It will only hurt you if I let you leave this town.
Love. Huh. None of you would know a thing about the love in my heart. Time's up. Enough hiding things.
I'm sorry, but I'm just as clueless as you about this personification technique. Hate me if you must. Kill me if you like. Asking me to darken my conscience and lie to my students, though? Never.
Mr. Pooh, I have always respected you. So don't blame me. You left me no choice.
Before the swordswoman's sword can fall, a blade flies in from outside, sending her skidding back with the might of a thunderclap. Astutely, she realizes her foe's power is beyond the pale, and without a second thought, she bolts through the window and flees.
She ran.
Tianqi-lin, did you hear all that?
Most of it. And I'd guessed most of it. I can believe you have troubles, sir, but I think you'll agree your actions prior to now have not been proper.
No objections, Tianqi-lin. Oh, I've made a fool of myself with this. A fool of myself. But how did you know I was being held captive by a
talking broom showed me the way while asking that I save you. I don't know if anything can surprise me today.
Sit down, Tianqi-lin. Have some tea.
And as he says it, a plate drags a teapot and teacup over, and tea is served. Lin Qingyan just furrows her eyebrows at the sight.
These items...
They're the students of this school, and all of them are Geists.
That explains the strangeness of the townsfolk I met today. So is everyone in this town?
Some are humans, some are Geists. As for how many of each, I'm not sure myself. Not anymore after all these years. The town became this way a long time ago. None of what I told you earlier was a lie per se, Tianqi.
I've heard tell of possessed beings born of Faramud influence, but I've never seen a Geist with intellect approaching that of humankind.
Have you forgotten, Tianqi-lin, what rests nearby?
The tomb of Sui.
Correct. We all know about the power of Faramud's incarnations to possess objects, and Sui was all too powerful. Even suppressed by the town for a millennium, the mere might that leached out of the cracks of the earth sufficed to turn some things ghastly.
Ordinary people should never know about any of that. Sir, are you...
A Faramutologist at the Sui Regulator. Decades ago at that. Life ends somewhere, and so does knowledge. My Faramut studies were achingly incomplete, and the research had wicked away my own humanity. I handed in my resignation and left to live a secluded life in the mountains. That's when I found this town. Decades ago, this town saw frequent possession incidents, which the Tianchi Bureau would send a Tianchi to quell if it felt like it. But I had to feel sorry for Geistkind, born into our secular realm not knowing up or from down, and how steeped in humanity some were, their consciousness not so far from a human's. I simply watched them run amok and be crushed. Nothing stopped me from trying to teach them human rights and values. Maybe they'd even be able to coexist. So little by little this school came to be.
How noble of you.
No, I can't be prizing those words from a Tianchi's lips. It's ridiculous on the face of it. I spent one half of my life on studying the bestial, and the other half on teaching the geistly to be human, only to look back and realize I've half-baked both. What do I really know? Still, since sequestering away, I've come to find the little things oh so endearing. I had thought this was how it'd be until my time was up. But see, a few days ago I received a letter.
A letter? Classified scoop, not for prying eyes.
Someone claims to have gotten hold of a one-of-a-kind secret tome, penned personally by the Grand Master of Human. Rumor has it that Grandmaster is a Faramut incarnate, but has the capacity to form himself a human's body. So, analogously, the tome's teachings can allow geists to become human.
Even human is involved in this. That explains the incident Zuola mentioned. Wait, can the tome really make the geist a human?
To be honest, I have no idea if that's true or not. But importantly, quite a number of geists believe it, and it's caused a great deal of unrest.
Are you suggesting the letter's writer aimed to sow unrest, unease in this town?
Hard to say, hard to say. All that I know, I've told you now. What are your plans, Tianchi Lin?
Matters of the bestial Sui are out of my job scope. But as a Tianchi of the Tianchi Bureaus, geists hurting people is something I cannot overlook. If whoever's orchestrating this has malevolence in mind, all the more reason to put my foot down.
That's good. I could tell you were the upstanding sort. I'm at ease knowing this investigation is in your hands. Tianchi Lin, just one more thing. Hu Jun's remains. Could you hand them to me?
Certainly. Are you giving him a burial, sir?
Burial, yes, but it's not just a burial. This study we're in is the Hall of Morn and Eve. Every broken item that rests in here was once Geist. A Geist does not live and die as a human does. They come alive from humans' attachments to things. They perish when their vessel breaks or the attachment is rid. If the broken vessel can be mended, perhaps one day the spirit can manifest again.
So this teapot... no. Who's Yun here?
Hu Jun's owner was a tea farmer here. He loved tea and knew it through and through. He used to clear a few mu of land in the mountains to plant tea. Every April before Qingping, when he picked and fried his leaves, he'd go around town ladling out well water as he pleased, and all of it filled with the fragrance of tea. But he wasn't content. He devoted himself to finding the best tea under heaven, and the clearest spring water. One year he heard of the mother tree of Mount TNT by the southernmost border of Yun. With nary a goodbye, he hired a ship fleet and went south. but once he was gone, he never came back. A speck of the tea farmer's infatuation dwelled within this teapot, as it accompanied him day in and day out. Who can blame our Hu Jun for wanting to leave the village so?
Was the tea farmer a friend of yours?
From her bag, Ling Qingyan brings out a small box. Safe kept within, there rest a teapot's shards.
My thanks, Tianchi. Mr. Yun, I've been looking forward to meeting you.
I'm so sorry for keeping you. There were some mishaps along the way.
You said you wanted to tour this town for us, yes? Has it satisfied you?
Of course. The people and the whole character of the place have really opened my eyes. I apologize you had to wait for so long. How about we get going?
Right, come with me.
So yeah, there we have it. The good old mythos of inanimate objects receiving enough love and care that they become alive or get a soul, essentially. And here it's being elevated even further because these objects are coming alive, not just because of that, but because of the proximity of the Sui, which is obviously in the nearby town, being kinda surrounded and imprisoned, but its power leaking into the environment, causing other inanimate objects to come alive is, I mean, the Suis in general being able to conjure up live things into reality, or rather creating pretty much turning teapots and anything essentially into a live object. We've been there, we've fought them a lot of times, right? Plates, scrolls, teacups. We fought a lot of those, but yeah, here we see a very interesting approach to this whole thing, in which these things become, as it's called in the story, Geists, and which is honestly just a German word for ghost. Funny. But yeah, here we see Geists that are essentially not just inanimate objects given some life so they can move around like a programmed puppet, essentially, but they share human feelings and emotions and even consciousness, which is very, very interesting how it developed, and how much more there is to the whole Sui thing when all things are considered. But yeah, Mr. Pooh here is not just a scholar in town or a teacher in town that was teaching these inanimate objects about life, human emotions and stuff like that. No, this guy is a former pheromonologist, which we did hear actually very recently in Such is the Joy of Our Union. I think we finally, or for the first time, heard the term pheromonologist, and here we get to meet a guy who was actually studying pheromones for a long time, which obviously makes sense. The Yanese have been on edge forever against the Sui, so obviously there's gonna be a whole school dedicated to studying the big Sui and actually trying to figure out how to combat them and what can be learned from them in general. But yeah, he's definitely gonna be a very interesting character for this story. Now, is he gonna survive until the end? I guess we're gonna see. I kind of gave him the cursed voice, so we'll see how that is gonna keep on carrying. But yeah, very interesting situation. Again, a town that seems weird. A lot of its inhabitants are people who are not actually flesh and blood people, but are still people. And yeah, we're gonna keep on going with this. And we're gonna keep on going with our third card for today, which is The Story of the Stone. So let's begin. flashback.
Oh, wow. Now that's a pretty stone. Oh, it's got such a beautiful pattern, and it's really smooth. If I carve it a bit, I might be able to sell it at the market for a good price.
Say, my young friend, could you give that stone back to me?
Back to you? I found the stone in the river. What do you mean, back to you?
It's a stone I wanted to add to my garden that took me quite a lot of effort to find. I accidentally left it here as I was returning back. If you give it back to me, then when my garden is restored, you can play there. How does that sound?
No. It's yours just because you said it's yours? I saw the stone here and I picked it up first. That means it's mine.
Such an unreasonable little rascal. Alright, then how about this? I'll trade you some other treasure for that stone. Name your price. Anything for the stone.
Really? Then I want 100... No, 1,000...
Forget hundreds or thousands. Millions, billions. Enough fame and fortune to sustain you until you're old and gray will be yours. Just like that.
You...
Do we have a deal?
No. The answer is still no. People are always trying to take advantage. If you're okay with paying that much for this stone, it means it must be worth way more than that. So I'll take real good care of it. I want to see what makes this stone so special.
What a clever little one. Very well. I'm in no hurry. When you change your mind, I'll come and find you to buy that stone.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. The old man's making trouble even on his deathbed.
Don't say that, brother. Dad's condition is getting worse by the day, and soon, we haven't had the time to be the most filial children. He only has the one final wish, and we should do our best to make him happy.
Our sister's words are much kinder than yours, little brother. Filial piety is the greatest of virtues. You might be rich now, but do not forget your roots. Yes, the two of you speak so highly of filial piety, but who was it who actually took care of him when he became ill? Calling in everyone because of a lost stone. If I went to Baizhou to report it, the judicial review office would have me locked up for obstructing official business. What am I supposed to do, huh? Besides, have we ever had such a stone in our house before? Who knows? As the second young master of this family, surely you are the most aware of how many properties we own? Me? Stop trying to act all high and mighty. You've never come home once these past few years. Then the moment Dad got ill, you came running back like a dutiful son. Who do you think you're trying to fool?
Alright, enough arguing. If you can't help, then don't cause trouble, okay? That Tianchi has only just arrived. Let's wait for her to find that stone for us.
Master, this is a Tianchi from the Tianchi Bureaus, a former deputy minister at the Judicial Review Office. She is here to help you find the stone. Are you willing to tell her about what happened to the treasure of yours? Huh? There's barely any devotion in those children of mine. Tell them that if my stone is not found, they will not be seeing a single fan of my money. Whomsoever finds that stone for me, I shall bestow upon them half my estates.
So you are the venerable Mr. Van. What sort of stone is it that you lost?
It is a stone I plucked from the river when I was young. One unique across all of Terra.
What I meant was, what sort of treasure was the stone? Was it jade or some other precious mineral?
Neither. It was merely an ordinary stone.
Then do you know who would desire the stone?
I do. But the one who desires it would never steal it.
Who is it? And how do you know?
Jing has many more questions she wishes to ask, but the old man on the bed turns his head away, unwilling to speak another word.
Where was the stone normally kept? When was the last time the resident saw it? And at what hour?
It is normally within a small box the master had specially made, which was hidden in the deepest storeroom in the house. The evening before last, I was cleaning that storeroom and everything was as it should. The next morning I found the box smashed against the ground, and the stone inside gone.
Can I trouble you to show me where the stone was lost?
Flashback. Come, please come in. Today I prepared some meager wine so as to offer you my deepest gratitude. If you are unsatisfied, please I beg your forgiveness.
Congratulations on your new home, good sir. May your fortunes and profits be grand. Here are fowl bees from my family coop, along with 2 baskets of eggs.
We're from the same clan and generation, cousin. We might not have been close in the past, but why be strangers now? Please, call me Brother Van.
Alright then, Brother Van. Then take these as well. Shoes my mother worked on throughout the night. Please don't mind how they look. She says she knows how much you've rushed about doing business these past few years, crossing hill and stream. The boots you buy in town might be sturdy, but you can't beat the comfort of homemade shoes.
Once I'm settled down, I will definitely go and visit Auntie. When my home was washed away by a deluge when I was young, she trekked several hundred li to give me 2 sacks of millet, despite her bad back. I never forgot.
All you had left was a single stone. The adults thought you didn't have long to live, but nobody could have expected you were tougher than rock. You're really something, making it through all that. You made a living with your own 2 hands, enduring a life of hardship without complaint. You crawled your way out of the backwater, started up a business, got married. You've got my respect.
It's all just luck, really. But since I was forced into such a situation, not charging headlong into the future wasn't an option. I couldn't just lay down and die, could I? I'm truly lucky to have grasped my life back. I can hardly give up now. The youth holds his hands to his chest, his fingers clenched tight around the stone hanging at his neck. Now please sit. If you keep chatting, the braised hawk will be all gone. No rush, everyone. There are plenty of seats for all. Heaven above! Is it really you?
Yes, it's me. I've come again.
It's been quite a while. What are you here for today? Sure not to try and buy the stone again.
You're on the mark, I'm afraid. Since you've already settled down, started both a family and a business, are you willing to give me that stone now?
Naturally, the answer is still no. Putting aside the fact that this stone has saved my life, just wearing it to bed lets me sleep easy. It's my lucky charm, so how could I give it to you? It simply won't do. Just give up already.
Very well then.
Huh? You're actually giving up?
No, of course not. I still dearly adore that stone, but I cannot seize that which another loves. I shall wait once more. Wait until you wish to put it down, at which time I shall take it away.
This is the storeroom where valuable assets are kept?
Yes, and the master kept his important account books and deeds here. Not just anyone is allowed in.
Did anyone enter on the night the stone was lost?
Unfortunately, there was a torrential downpour that night. If I remember correctly, I never saw a light turn on in the storeroom, nor did I hear any sound coming from it.
Who normally has access to this room?
There are altogether 4 copies of the key to the room and the cabinets. The Master's 3 children each have a copy, while I keep the Master's copy in his stead. But the Stone's box has its own key. The Master keeps the copy on his person at all times.
And the box was kept on top of that standing cabinet?
The Master normally does not allow others to touch the stone. After becoming bedridden a few years ago, he has not had the time to fiddle with it either, so it has been placed somewhere out of the way.
Account books, indeed. Someone who knows what these are worth. If a thief came in from outside, would they have sneaked over here? This residence has many more valuables that would have caught their eye.
Pardon, did you say something?
Nothing, just thinking about the case I was recently looking into, but I doubt it has any relevance to this. Right, there's something I'd like to ask. Master Van's 3 children. What sort of people are they?
Well, no matter what may have happened, I am merely a butler. It would be inappropriate for me to discuss the young master's and young mistress's affairs.
Please be at ease. I am not asking you to judge them as people, but rather simply asking what their day-to-day work is, and under what circumstances they come to visit Master Van. That is all. This is for the sake of your master's final wish. You may speak freely.
When it comes to the Master's 3 children, if you were to only look at their achievements, they would all show great promise. The elder young Master, oldest of them all, is a scholar. He has always boasted impressive grades and currently holds a post at the academy. The second child, the younger young Master, took after his father and has recently brought much custom to the family business. The youngest, the young mistress, is uninterested in such mundanity, dedicating herself to music. She is a musician renowned far and wide.
Based on your tone, it sounds like they have their hidden flaws.
I dare not say, dare not. Who would care for the opinion of a lowly servant such as I? But, from my bystander's point of view, these 3 children are not particularly close to the Master. The 3 of them moved out when they came of age, rarely returning even during festivities.
Does Master Van have a bad relationship with his children?
Another long story, I'm afraid. When the Master was but a shepherd boy, he had nothing. It was only after much bitter toil that he was able to start the family business. But when it came to the care of his children, he found himself willing but unable.
It isn't hard to imagine.
Yun Qingping, surely you do not suspect,
I simply understand the situation a little better. By the way, why does your master value this stone so? Did he plan to sell it?
That has never been the case, as far as I know. That stone is the Master's most precious treasure. We staff normally never have the opportunity to see it. I once suggested taking it to the jade store to be appraised, but he scolded me with a great fury in return. I have never dared mention it again ever since. I do remember one thing, though. The Master once mentioned a strange individual thinking of buying the stone. One who has been thinking for several decades now.
Several decades? Your master mentioned finding the stone in the river several decades ago. Does this place still exist?
Flashback.
I'll be off now, Master.
Right. Do I still owe you any wages? If so, I'll think of a way to...
It's all settled. The beams and pillars that survived the fire were made of top-rate cedar wood. The coffin makers already gathered them up. The money that's left over, I put it on the stove.
Then you can go now. And there's no need to call me Master anymore.
Brother One, you've done lots of good deeds, enough that nobody would think you any less virtuous than anyone else. How did it all go so wrong?
I didn't do all that just to cultivate virtue and show off.
Who would have thought your good name would make you a target for vicious robbers? Damn it all! How can heaven be so blind? Letting such evil men go free just makes it harder for us honest folk.
Alright, that's enough of that. I'm halfway to being old and grey, my family and funds scattered to the four winds. Being able to hold on to my life and, this stone means I'm still rather lucky. The middle-aged man holds a wooden box tied to his chest. The blood slicking his hair hides spots of grey. He is no longer young. The house he painstakingly built, brick by brick, tile by tile, all by himself for half his life, is now no more than himself and the stone. Have I come at a bad time? I'm afraid I can't offer you hospitality this time around. Fate is a cruel, cruel mistress. Here for the stone again? At first, yes. But, how do you feel now? Do you believe it to be an ordinary stone? I believe it's a totally ordinary stone, and I'm a totally ordinary person. A gust of wind and some drizzle is all it takes to bury us in mud. I've met many people before, but very few of them were like you, dragging yourself out of abject poverty through sheer stubbornness and grit to achieve greatness. Even fewer can. No, nearly nobody your age can crawl back up after losing everything in a flash. Are you saying I should just resign myself to fate and abandon it all, including the stone? No. I simply wish to ask you one thing. Have you given up? Of course not. I've crawled out of the gutter once, and I can do it again. I must crawl out. The middle-aged man seems to have set his mind on something. He lifts up the box and speaks to the kindly man solemnly. You always wanted the stone, didn't you? I'll give it to you, but I'm not abandoning it. I'll come to redeem it one day. You mean this is to be collateral? That's right. With it, I'll borrow some money from you. I'll plant saplings where the trees were burned down and lay new bricks where the walls collapsed. Right, I might be getting old, but I'm not dead yet. It's just a fresh start. I've done it all once, and I can do it all again. But this time, I'll do it even better. I understand, but never mind. Huh, don't tell me you'll only accept it if I give it to you for nothing. I wouldn't accept it if you did. What I want is a totally ordinary stone. You haven't let go of your obsession with it, so this stone would be too heavy for me. The kindly man puts down the basket on his back and sifts through it. From amongst many artifacts of porcelain and jade, he pulls out a fowl beast crafted of pure gold. From that golden fowl beast he plucks many feathers, also made of purest gold. They are heavy and cling together with a crisp melody. Here. Why are you helping me? I am accustomed to the road here. On whichever day I feel like seeing if the stone is still there or not, I need only walk 2 paces to come over. But if you were to fall into ruin and wander off with that stone, I would not know where to look for it, and that would be rather troublesome for me, don't you think?
According to the elderly gentleman yesterday, this should be the area where he found the stone. The river has become a graveyard. Even the trees that only sprouted after the deluge seem decades old. There's someone here? Hey, I told you should have come with us. Look at me, I became a mandarin a long time ago. It doesn't matter if it's flowers in trees or vases and pots, in Garden of Grotesqueries. When they see me, they have to bow with respect and call me... what did I call you? The young Minister of Rains. I told you, where it rains and where it doesn't rain in Garden of Grotesqueries is all up to me. I simply need to jump in a pond and... pow! There shall be rain. Sounds really impressive. What about you? What ministry are you with? What do others call you? Nothing. Wait, they call me Great Hero. Great Hero? What ministry is that under? How come I've never heard of you? The Great Hero is a wooden box. When I'm inside it, nobody can open it. That does sound rather impressive. But I'm a young minister, so why are you a great hero? That's not right. When you come with me to the Garden of Grotesqueries, you shall be called Young Hero. Oh, okay. Look at you. Did you just wake up? I'll tell you something. Once we were both in a basket carried on someone's back. The basket's master was carrying us through the river. When you suddenly fell out of the basket... tell me, what were you thinking then? I don't really remember. Then do you at least remember how you woke up? All of our siblings who were brought back to the Garden of Grotesqueries were awakened by the Master. Who knew there'd be someone outside the garden powerful enough to make even willful stones bow their heads? What do you mean, powerful? He's just a stinky rock, and he's stupid and mean too. On rainy days when you're supposed to rest, he runs out to the fields. When other workers have gone home already, he goes to the river to dig up rocks while his tummy's rumbling. He said he wanted to build a new house. He's got no money to get people to lay the foundation, so he's doing it himself with a shovel. He can't afford bricks, so he makes his own out of yellow clay. It took him 7 or 8 years to build that home by himself, but it still wasn't done. As soon as it was finished, he was out the door to go do business. What an idiot, stupid rock. He worked so hard on that business to get results, but once he got robbed, he had nothing left. So he did all of that hard work for nothing? He could have settled down and lived out the rest of his years earning an honest living, but he just wouldn't give up and put himself through all that torture again. But he's finished now that he's sick. His children are unfilial, and the family and friends who visit just want his stuff. What really makes me mad is that right now he's still blaming himself for not looking after the box. He still thinks he lost the stone. It sounds like you're a bit angry at him, but you also pity him a little? If that's the case, why did you run out here instead of staying with him? Because I don't really know. Why does he never know when to give up? I heard from some friends from outside the Garden of Grotesqueries that things like people fall into holes really easily and are unable to climb out their entire lives. If that's the case, then come with me to the Garden of Grotesqueries. I'll introduce you to my brothers and sisters. They all know loads of stuff, so they can definitely help you figure things out. Garden of Grotesqueries. What kind of place is it? Is it fun there? Of course it's fun. You definitely won't regret coming with me. I'm telling you, that place has a... This is bad. Someone's here. Wait a moment.
Ling Qingyan reveals herself, stepping towards the big tree. The two young voices cut off abruptly. There is nothing behind the tree, let alone a child. She looks under the bushes hidden in the tree's shadow, finding a smooth stone lying there as quiet as a rock.
Transformed by obsession, as if become an object possessed. What sort of obsession has ingrained itself into this stone, I wonder?
Have you called us here because you have found the stone, Tianchi?
Indeed. Not only have I found the stone, but have also identified the robber who stole into your manse.
Please don't keep us in suspense then. Tell us what happened, quick.
There is no need to rush. I require a cooperative partner in deduction to explain how this stone was lost and what connection the robber has to it. If I may trouble you to stand here.
Me?
The man is reluctant, but ultimately acquiesces to Lin's command, standing next to the towering cabinet.
Now, use your key to open this cabinet's lock.
What sort of trickery are you up to? Cooperate with the Tianchi brother?
Don't dawdle. Just do as she says so we can all be at ease.
In the end, the man continues to follow her command, taking a key from his pocket to unlock the cabinet. Now what?
Yes, such an act would not be difficult under normal circumstances. But I fear it would be hard to be so nimble in working the lock if it were a dark and stormy night. A few knocks and smacks are to be expected.
Jing-Yun gives the cabinet a light push. A box atop it falls, smacking the man on the head before it clatters against the floor. The box smashes open, and from it rolls a sparkling smooth stone. She steps forward, picking it up before it rolls out of the storeroom.
In truth, the robber was not after the stone, but rather Master Van's legacy, locked within this cabinet. And in knowing where this house's true treasures were stored, they could no longer hide their avarice.
You... get to the point already!
I am no mandarin of the Judicial Review Office, young master. I have no intention of getting involved in your family affairs. There is simply one thing I must remind you of. Under the laws of Yun, the crime of theft applies equally between parents and children. Where unauthorized alteration of wills involves assets exceeding statutory thresholds, it shall constitute a felony. I ask that you act with dignity.
You... Young masters, young mistress, Master Van, he...
Return this stone to him, post haste.
You and I both see true. It really is a good stone. It never abandoned you. The old man opens and closes his lips, as if he has much he wishes to say, but ultimately only a single sentence arises.
It's you.
Yes, it's me again. The same smile hangs upon his face, the smile he wore ever since the very first time they met, when the old man was but a little boy. The young boy plucked the stone from the river, lifting it in front of the passing stranger. As sunlight passed through it, it glowed with a wondrous luster.
So many years, and you've visited quite a few times.
The last time we met, you could still carry a bench to the courtyard door to enjoy a cup of tea with me.
You've always wanted that stone. How many times have you come to ask for it? And how many times have I refused you? Why do you keep coming?
Because I really do adore that stone. It also happens to be just what my garden lacks. There was never any special reason for it. The beauty of the finest crafts of heaven and earth has never been rational.
You are a very strange man. Every time I saw you off, I thought, surely you won't show up again, right? But you always returned, whether it took 10 days, 2 weeks, 3 years, or perhaps 5. I never understood how you could be so carefree every time you left empty-handed.
Every time I descend from the mountains, I gain all that I see and hear, all that I think and ponder. Even if I do not have the stone, how could you say I left empty-handed?
All that you see and hear, so What have you seen?
I have seen cool breezes push cirrus clouds, seen fine blossoms and young chicks, and also I have seen interesting men and interesting things. Whenever I walk home, I would think, will he give me the stone next time?
Keep dreaming. You had to keep running over to my place. All because I never gave it to you.
You call me a dreamer, but are you not the same?
True. We're the same. Once I die, you won't need to keep coming over here. Pity. Pity. When my time comes, this stone will fall into your hands.
Not necessarily. A man's strength has its limits, just like how I carried a basket of stones across a river back then. Despite the care I took, a stone still fell into the river, which was then found by you. Who would have thought you would never let go of that find for the rest of your life?
You knew long ago I would never let go. That's right. You knew long ago.
Yes, I knew it from the day you stood in the river.
So, what did you hope to gain by finding me?
Most times I simply wish to see it. I adore it, so naturally I wanted a closer look.
There are many stones in this land,
but not many that are interesting. To chance upon it is destiny at work.
Thankfully, there aren't many people on this land as stubborn as you either.
When it comes to stubbornness, you are many li ahead of me. I'm afraid it's this stubbornness of yours that allows even willful stones to bow their heads.
A man has but a single life. From that deluge, I found my life again, thanks to the stone, and to you. I cannot give up on this life of mine.
That's right. You did it. Despite falling into deep ravines and striking great boulders, you have never once given up. I saw it all.
This stone I give to you. I give it to you. You
Since you have already awakened it, allow it to choose.
You bothered me my entire life for this stone. Now I can finally be free.
Yes. Put it down. You can put it down now. The boy stares blankly at the stone in his palm. As sunlight passes through it, it glows with a wondrous luster. The river gently flows past, wetting his pulled-up pants. He does not see his friends he always plays by the river with, nor does he see the man who always has a kind smile on his face. There is no wind, no trees, no sky. He does not sense a single thing other than the river. Time has stopped at the very moment he dredged up that stone from its waters. The boy puts on a melancholy smile. The boy opens his hand, allowing the stone to fall back into the river, not thinking about whether it will sink to the river's bed or follow its flow to the ocean deep. He closes his eyes and listens to the sound of the thunder, the wind, and the deluge's roar. Alright, and that, I presume, is our new Sui sibling. Alright, they're still not showing him. I don't know in which one of these scenes they're gonna be showing the guy, but that seems to definitely be our new Sui sibling, especially in that last scene where you can clearly see his hand and see the typical tattoos on it, but we'll see in the future parts how he looks probably and what his name is probably. I mean, they kinda already introduced him, so I'm just waiting right now to see which one of these cards is gonna show us in the future who he is and what his name is. But yeah, makes sense that there's gonna be a Sui sibling considering this weird town and everything. I do like this this story note specifically as well because of the whole back and forth between the guy's whole life, how stubborn he was and how hardworking he was, and how the sibling has chosen to kind of play along and observe his life the entire way through. These stones he was gathering are also seem very interesting. I'm wondering right now what this whole thing is gonna and how this whole thing is gonna play into IS-6, but I'm presuming IS-6 is gonna be dealing with kind of a lot of smoke and mirrors, which is very interesting, because that was almost kind of like the same concept back with IS-5. So I'm excited. It seems to be a very interesting, lore-wise, very interesting game mode once more. But we'll see soon about that more when it comes into the game. But yeah, very interesting and very, very heartfelt and very interesting perspective on a whole person's life, while this guy was literally just hanging around him and being like a kind of like a good-natured companion for the whole journey from start to finish. The analogy, or rather the symbolism there at the end, was that I'm presuming they're probably gonna confirm it on the next either on the next node or the node after, but I'm presuming here that the old guy legitimately just passed away right at the very end, and as he passed away, the little scenes with the little boy, which was obviously him again, just in his youth, putting the stone back where he found him. Very nice, like, you know, full 180 round from start to finish. Very nice, nice symbolism there on that end. But yeah, new Sui sibling and a town full of inanimate life objects. This is gonna be something else. This is definitely gonna be something else when we get to IS-6. But this will be it for today's part. Next time we're gonna continue, and I don't know how long each one of these is gonna be. If it's gonna be like a 30-minute cutscene on each one of these things, because these first three are pretty much are like a 30 to 40 minute read-through on the first run-through, so if the rest of them are gonna be the same length, I'm probably gonna make one more part on this thing and we're gonna wrap up the story then with that, and just gonna be waiting on IS-6 to release. But we'll see about that next time. Could change. I could change my opinion depending on how long the next two nodes are or how complicated they're gonna be to do. But anyway, that will be for next time. For now, we shall wrap it up here. And next time, maybe we're gonna finish it. Maybe won't. We'll see. You guys will see when the next episode comes up. But until then, hope you enjoyed this part. If you did so, please consider leaving a like. It would help out a lot. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. And if you want to support me more directly, memberships are open on the channel. And as I always say, no video will be behind a membership. It's really there for support. So thank you very much to all the members already doing so. Much appreciated. And I hope you all have a fantastic day wherever you are. And I will see you in the next part. Until then, bye-bye. Whoa, hi! This is a completely new character, very highly detailed. Okay. Uh-huh. You are a Liberi, that is definitely the case. Interesting design, though. Clever girl! No! No. We just finished. We just finished Act or Die. I do not need more movie references. And the same ones on that. God. Oh, hi. Heartless Swordswoman. Another unique one. And very detailed in design, okay. Interesting. The Pheromontologists at the Sui Regulator. Decades ago, that. Okay, so finally meeting one of these guys. This thing, which story was it? Was it the story from summer, from the summer, the U story that first time used the term Pheromontologist? Okay, interesting. So people who are directly, I mean, the Yanese people will definitely have people who are directly studying the Sui, or rather the Pheromounts in general, compared to probably most nations. Actually, probably other nations have some people who are studying them, but probably not to the same degree as Yun, who has to fear for its for its livelihood, essentially, compared to the other nations. Okay, this guy might be very interesting depending on how this story goes. Also considering that this story is a essentially a prequel story for IS-6. I wonder if he's gonna be in some way, shape, or form present throughout the story somehow. Would be interesting. That story is gonna be that game mod is gonna be interesting for whatever lore it's gonna be bringing. Because it should be very, very Sui-centric, or Pheromounts-centric in general. That'll be very, very interesting. Cannot wait. Will be fun. Oh, hello. Who are you? Kindly man. Are you gonna be... Yeah. Actually, I don't know if this story is gonna have a villain, to be precise. Unless this is gonna be the character that carries over into what's it called, IS-6 as the maybe guide or maybe antagonist. I don't know. We'll see. There has to be some form of antagonist in here.
He can't afford bricks, so he makes his own out of yellow clay.
Yellow clay? Are we gonna turn this into the King in Yellow? Or Yellow King, however it's said again. That would be funny. That would be funny as hell if we introduced the Yellow King mythos into this world as well. We already have Cthulhu, so why not the thing that predates Cthulhu?